Hello, I'm Ian Mark from 70s Rock Photos. I am also the author of Adventures of a 70s Rock Photographer. This video is going to be different from other videos I've done in the past. I usually do videos about bands that I photograph, like Queen Rocks the Jubilee in '77, Shooting Kiss in 1974, or Alice Cooper haunts McMahon Stadium in 1977. In this video, we are going to visit the Rolling Stone Mobile where it is currently housed at the Canadian Music Centre in Calgary. You may ask, what is the Canadian Music Centre? It is a museum of Canadian and international music in downtown Calgary. It is also the home of the Canadian Music Hall of Fame. First, we are going to visit the Canadian Music Centre located inside Studio Bell, and then we are going to go across the street and go inside the restored Rolling Stone Mobile. So let's check out the Canadian Music Centre. As you can see from this drone shot, the Canadian Music Centre is inside a relatively shiny new building. The museum was opened in 2016 and fills 160,000 square feet. You can see that there is a bridge from the Canadian Music Centre across the street to another much older, shorter building. It is in that smaller building that the Rolling Stone Mobile is parked on the main floor beside the King Eddie Bar. But for now, let's take a look into some of the exhibits of the museum. As I said before, the Canadian Music Centre is home of the Canadian Music Hall of Fame. So there are exhibits that include Joni Mitchell, Randy Bachman, Hank Snow, Celine Dion, Neil Young, Paul Anka, Leonard Cohen, Rush, and jazz legend Oscar Peterson. Once in a while, they have a traveling exhibition like this one featuring Geddy Lee's many bass guitars. Moving on, there is a collection of international artists like Jimmy Page, one of Gershwin's pianos, and this piano used by Elton John and Bernie Taupin. It is signed by Bernie Taupin and Elton John. If you look closely, you can read where Bernie Taupin wrote, "Within this piano lays the ghost of 100 songs. Take care of them. They love you. God bless." Signed Elton John and Bernie Taupin. Now it's time to check out the Mobile. As I said before, the Mobile is beside the King Eddie Bar, which is just across the street from the Canadian Music Centre. You can just walk into the bar and you can see recording history on the other side of the glass. The Stones created the Mobile in 1968. It was the brainchild of their road manager and pianist Ian Stewart. The Mobile would allow them to be free of the traditional studio recording system. They could take it to castles or wherever they wanted and whenever they wanted, total control. It is 9.75 meters long and weighs 11 tons. The Helios console was upgraded in the late 70s to include two 24-track recorders and a separate 2-track. There are 58 microphone lines available. In 1970, the Rolling Stones recorded the majority of Sticky Fingers in the Mobile. The same year, Led Zeppelin recorded Led Zeppelin 4 using the Mobile at Headley Grange. It has also been used by such legends as Lou Reed, Dire Straits, Fleetwood Mac, Nazareth, The Faces, Bob Marley, The Who, Iron Maiden, Deep Purple, and the Ramones. Many bands have used it, but only one, Deep Purple, immortalized the Mobile in their song Smoke on the Water, which recounts how the studio was almost burned down when it was parked next to the Montreux Casino during a Frank Zappa concert. The Mobile recorded more than just rock concerts. In the late 70s and 80s, it traveled to the Soviet Union, where it recorded ballet dances. In 1987, Bill Wyman, the Stones' bassist, took over the Mobile and launched the Ames project. This is when it was painted blue, like you see here. A competition that gave 50 British bands the chance to record for free with the Mobile, thanks to the Ames project. In 1993, it was retired, only to be brought back to life in 1996 by Loho Studios, a New York-based recording company which acquired it at auction. It was used in live performances by Patti Smith and the Ramones. This brings us up to 2001 when the Cantos Music Foundation in Calgary, the precursor to the National Music Centre, acquired the Mobile for its collection. So after a decade in storage, the Canadian Music Centre began to restore the mobile. To quote a information plaque outside the mobile, instead of altering any of the original components, the National Music Centre saw that the original signal paths remained intact and that the mobile studio was up to contemporary standards. Now, studio and electronics engineer Jason Taupin is going to take us inside the mobile.
Hi, I'm Jason Taupin. I'm the studio and electronics engineer here at Studio Bell, home of the National Music Centre, and here we are in front of the Rolling Stones mobile truck. Well, let's go take a look inside. All right, here we are in the Rolling Stones mobile recording studio, and I'm here behind the legendary Helios console. And here we have 25 of the original 0011 input modules, and a lot of the original equipment still in the truck, such as the F600 Helios limiters, which were responsible for the levee brakes drum sound. We also have 4 of the F760 compressors and a really interesting prototype Bell flanger, as well as some custom remotes for the 3M tape machines, as well as some Roger and Capex gates, Roger Mayer gates, Capex gates. Just an incredible sounding console, fully restored, and we can actually record with the King Eddie, as all the mic lines are tied to the stage. So if you had Deep Purple in there for the day, you'd write Deep Purple, and they used what tape they used so that you could charge it back for their invoice. You would put on your tape box, and then you would identify on each track what you recorded. So bass drum, snare drum, hi-hat, bass guitar, guitar one, guitar solos. And then when you took this back to another studio, you would know what's on your tape. And these would be the microphones going out for the sound guy at the front of house or the PA. And then this would have been the same inputs that go to the truck. What's really interesting is there's this built-in headphone monitor system. So I can, with this switch, select 1 to 10, which corresponds with these microphones. I can plug in headphones, and I can check each one of my microphones before I even come back to the truck, which is amazing. It's a really well thought out recording system. And the original console.
So I hope you have enjoyed this trip back to the world of reel-to-reel recording. I thought it would be appropriate to end with some shots of bands that did record using the mobile, like Fleetwood Mac, The Who, Rod Stewart, and Nazareth. These are, of course, my own photographs. You can purchase most of my shots from my own website at 70srockphotos.com, or from my 70s Rock Photos Etsy or 70s Rock Photos Amazon store. Please check out my other videos on my 70s Rock Photos YouTube channel. Thanks for watching, and a special thanks to Jason from the Canadian Music Centre for showing us around the studio.